and novelty songs. Spoofs, goofs, and novelty songs. Spoofs, goofs, and novelty songs. Spoofs, goofs, and novelty songs.
No, I don't want to talk about this. I hope it's funny. It wasn't.
It wasn't. He was wrong.
Oh, by the way, Marty.
Huh? Hey!
Oh my god.
Kelly's
Matching shirts.
Nice.
Kelly-
Matching shirts.
Noah. So
Yeah, Noah bought me this.
at Kelly's wedding.
Oh my god. Was he drunk when was he
Thank
that
you.
drunk?
No, he was pretty sober.
Okay.
We took a little road trip to Walmart.
The night before the wedding, I had to get out of the campsite. I was bored, and
Let me set the scene. Making my way downtown, going to Walmart, bored at my wedding, here I go now.
Yep, that's what happened.
Pretty much.
And then the Walmart's like 20 minutes away. We get there. We were getting what? Like charcoal?
Snacks, charcoal, cream cheese, I think was like the big
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Cream cheese was the big one.
Basically,
Getting cream cheese, charcoal, and other stuff, looking around Walmart.
Yeah.
we basically just needed anything to do because we weren't allowed to help.
Noah annoyingly was like, all right, Kelly, pick out a treat. You can pick out any treat you want. Just pick out one treat. And I was like,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Kelly, pick out a treat. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Any treat you want.
This is a good spoof.
I keep getting distracted. So I was like, no, I'm a grown man. I'm about to be married. I don't
And
want a
I'm
treat.
a grown man. Okay.
Please stop. We need to get through this now.
And
now we
then-
have to finish this story.
Then he basically, the only thing that he picked out, because he's like, you want this? This could be your treat. You want this? This could be your treat. And kept picking out junk. Got to a jack-o'-lantern t-shirt, and he was like, you want this? And I was like, you know what? I do want that. Now I'm wearing it. I wear it consistently.
Want that. Now I'm wearing it. Okay.
And fun fact, I'm also wearing my Jack-o'-lantern t-shirt.
Tis the season.
It is.
Welcome to the Christmas episode of Spoofs, Moofs, and Novelty Mobiles.
I'm pompast about bum bum.
Spoofs, Moofs.
We also didn't introduce ourselves last episode. I'm Marty.
Oh, we introduced ourselves because I said
you
I'm
didn't.
the smart boy.
Marty
Scott.
You were the one who didn't. I said I'm
didn't.
the medium.
In the last episode, Marty was Marty.
It's funny because my name is on the listed as like the creator of the podcast on iTunes. So
Because you are, and you
Oh,
deserve
I'm sorry. I
credit
didn't.
for 100%
I
of
didn't
this.
write. I didn't throw you in the artwork. I didn't throw your name in the artwork.
oh, I don't care. Why
As
would I
the
care?
creator, I'll
Oh,
throw it in
shut
next
up.
week.
Created by Martin.
Oh my god,
You should put that.
guys!
I'm going to.
It's just because I signed up. It's under my account, so
Is
it
that
says my
Martin
name.
Kazabowski, the creator? Spoof, Scoofs, and
and the
Novelty Songs,
co-creator
Lorne
of New York
Michaels
Four?
of
I wasn't even
Spoof,
calling
Scoofs?
myself that. I hate you so much.
No, you
People
get
call our
creator
podcast
credit.
Spoof Scoofs when they shorten it.
We got along
That's
so
what
well
it is.
last week. Why do we have to start like this, guys?
We're starting a Twitter account at Spoofs Goofs Podcasts. You can tweet at us.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna have that handle.
I thought it was called
It'll be fine.
That Podcast About Spoofs and Goofs.
Okay, at that podcast about spoofs and goofs.
Yeah.
How many characters is that?
Well, no, Spoofs and Goofs. It's an N instead of the N.
It's also a
Okay,
Twitter
spooks and
account
goofs.
about dumb shit.
Yeah.
That's the description. Thank you for. Well, now no one's gonna visit it because they already know everything about it.
I love visiting web pages.
Oh my god!
Just stopping for a visit.
This week we
Stop.
are reviewing a 1984 horror comedy called
Gremlins.
Are we reviewing it though? Is that really what we're here for?
I am the Roger Ebert of the podcast.
Are we just talking about it?
We're talking, Kelly. God damn it!
We literally give it a score at the end.
We literally
Yeah,
review
but
it.
nobody wants to.
That's true. It is pointless and redundant. I agree.
You know why we give it a review or a
Because
rating?
we have to finish talking.
Correct. It is a structure thing only.
Yes, 100%. That's why we never
glad-
do it seriously, except for Marty, and just make a joke out of it.
Is this
and it's
gonna be on
fun,
the midterm?
and we like doing it.
Except for me. This is directed by Joe Dante, famous for monster movies like Piranha or The Howling, as well as weird suburban movies like The Burbs and Small Soldiers. And this is a
It's
combo.
both.
It's both.
Let's talk about The Burbs first. That
Okay.
movie sucks. All right, moving on.
I don't hate that movie. I think the movie's
Whoa.
fine.
I didn't like The
Oh my
Burbs.
It's not great.
I don't
but it's
I
understand.
fine.
like this attitude, Kelly.
You angry,
You know what?
Kelly.
Last week,
Yeah.
I barely got a word in edgewise. This week, I'm here. I'm lit.
Yeah.
Fam.
I feel like you just didn't.
Fam.
You didn't have much to say last week. To be fair,
Yeah, why were we acknowledging the existence of such a pile of garb?
Yeah, Olive Garden. When you're here,
You're fam.
you're American.
When you're here, you're lit, fam.
This was a spec script written by Christopher Columbus of Home Alone and Harry Potter.
Interesting.
Oh, also
Now you got the Christopher Columbus facts.
famous Spaniard Christopher Columbus.
No. He was Italian and he was funded by the Spaniards.
Oh, okay.
Harry Potter 1 was funded by the
Spain.
Spaniards.
The script was described as graphically violent. Dante and Steven Spielberg tweaked it and toned it down into a less violent sort of genre mashup and included a lot more of the pop culture stuff that allows it to be reviewed on this show, I would say.
Thank you.
So watching this movie, my first few things I wrote down are all like, how is this a spoof? Why are we doing this? This doesn't make any sense. It's just a movie. Mm-hmm. And then it gets about the half.
You were wearing your nightgown, cap, and a little stub of a candle on a holder.
I remember these are screws.
You were eating your nightly gruel.
Yes. Please, sir, may I have some more? These are all just...
Please, sir, may I watch Gremlins?
No, it's not a spoof movie. Watch Meet the Spartans. Watch a superhero movie.
Oh, sir. But my boy Kelly, he needs the gremlins to live from the surgery.
But you know what? Halfway through this movie, I realize it's a pretty good just satire of American consumerism in general.
Yes.
Okay.
And it does make fun of like old school monster movies throughout and pretty well, I would say.
And here's the other thing.
Yes.
It's goofy.
It is also goofy, so it does lean into like, is it as much of a spoof as it is more of a goof than a spoof?
Yeah.
But it also is a spoof.
Not to
I would
be
say.
confused with a goofy movie or an extremely goofy movie.
Both.
We can't review a movie that has like Rube Goldberg devices messing up. What are we doing?
I
What
agree.
was this all about?
Gremlins, I think, is fair to review on the show. There are certain movies that I'm gonna say no to for reviewing on the show. Gremlins is not one of them.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Thank you, teacher.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure we can do with the show. I think if we do like a combo episode of like Pee-wee Herman as a character, and we do like an episode of the show and the movie, then I think it's okay.
Really, Marty? Can we?
Guys, it's Christmas. Gifts for everyone.
I am
Here's what I'm
gonna
gonna
get.
do,
I'll
just
bring
not
home my
watch the
permission
show.
slip.
No, but the show is like actually parodying something. The movie is just like a fucking movie. It's barely a parody.
We can't do movies where there's Rube Goldberg devices going all crazy and
And
making
crazy
pancakes.
puppets, dude.
So, this movie is about a terrible inventor decides to get his son, by the way, his adult son, a gift for Christmas. He lands on a
Mogwai.
mogwai, a secret, scary little creature thing that has a bunch of rules attached
This
to it.
movie was made in the 80s where people just assumed that all Asian people were magic. Like this and...
Well, I think that was like one
that
of the
was-
spoofs because they made it seem like he was in China, but he was in Chinatown.
Yeah, that was part of. They were making fun of the trope of.
They
like,
were making
the
fun of
creature.
Asian Americans.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were as by
Well,
doing
there's
it.
plenty of movies where like Big Trouble in Little China
Yeah.
is an example where
Yes.
just like it's like the exotification of
Yes.
like Asian cultures.
Marty,
like,
can we watch Big Trouble in Little China?
God, I hate this, you guys. Let's do this off mic. I would say like by doing a spoof of that, they are also just making fun of like they're just doing Chinese stereotypes at some point.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's
No,
like,
I
it's
don't
a hard
know if
line.
Gremlins had the self-awareness to be spoofing that. I think they were
Oh.
just falling into that 80s.
It does though, because
trope.
they literally do like part of the plot is like is like literally the Wizard of Oz. They have an evil old lady who wants to get his dog for some reason.
Well,
That's what they're doing. Is like they're literally just doing like a spoof of Wizard of Oz. They're making her like a ridiculous old lady. It's
Holy
also
shit.
said that I looked into this because it's like that people like say this is specifically what they were doing was supposedly the movie is structured to be this like 10-minute series of like parodies of other movies kind of is like what I discovered.
Holy
Like,
shit! See, that's what
It's,
I.
it is,
Whoa, dude.
it is
Here
like
we're-
it is. It's like the movie is like kind of masking the spoofness of it because it is so ridiculous, and also because this movie became so ubiquitous, and Gremlins has been parodied a ton, and this movie got made fun of a lot for its marketing too. Even by the sequel, Gremlins 2, is literally a
New
spoof.
batch.
It's a spoof of Gremlins 1, basically.
Yeah. Because they just raised the campiness like one. It's
Make
the
it more
same as
insane.
like the Evil Dead movies. Every
Yes.
sequel they raised the camp level by one
Right.
magnitude.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that this movie does qualify as a spoof.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, America.
Will this be on the midterm?
Spoof for everyone. A boiled spoof for all.
You boy, what time is it? It's
Spoofsmas Eve, sir.
You guys want to hear a fun fact about Gremlins?
I do. I love. Hold on, wait. You know what? I no longer want to hear about it.
All right, that was a good choice. What about you, Scott? You want to
I
hear?
have something to tell you.
Tell me.
I do want to hear about it.
You should have sided with Marty because the fun fact is I didn't know it was a Christmas movie. Moving on.
That was really fun. Oh my god.
And so the thing about the consumerism thing, this movie is like, it takes place in Christmas. The end of the movie is literally like in a movie theater and then a department store. Like this movie is very
it, like,
clearly about
evolves.
American consumerism.
It evolves into it. Like,
Yes.
The Gremlins themselves start to really enjoy American culture.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
start to indulge in
They're also
Yeah.
way
it
too...
cuts to so it like cuts from them murdering people
Yes.
into them just hanging out at a bar having beers.
Well, that's the duality of the Gremlins.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you.
They love mischief. That's the thing, is like Gremlins are like they're like an icon of folklore from like World War II specifically.
Yeah.
That they like
I
mess
think
with machinery was their
Before
thing.
that-
but they
yeah, that's the thing they always do is they're always making things
Gremlins
not work.
It refers to parts made by foreigners.
I think Gremlins could
a lot of
stand
that.
to be remade, and that's what they could. The Gremlins
Yeah.
in the cell phone.
Oh man, I can't wait
The
for that app.
Gremlins in the cell phone. Let me just email that to Steven Spielberg real quick, and we'll see what we can get.
He's not very
Do
busy.
you guys remember when you could download like that weird, terrible malware on your computer that like put a weird dinosaur or alien or monkey on the computer? You guys remember that?
No.
That was like a 1990s gremlin.
Do you remember when you could text 5545 to get this glittering skull as the background on your cell
Hell
phone?
yeah, you could do that. Hell yeah. That's a gremlin.
So, cameo countdown time. We've got Steven Spielberg shows up in this movie. Frank Welker, who is a voice from Scooby-Doo and Transformers. Chuck Jones, also a drawer of Looney Tunes and stuff. And Howie Mandel as the voice of Gizmo.
Wow.
That was the real fun fact.
Yeah.
Howie Mandel doing Gizmo.
He's great. Gizmo's really
He
cute.
can get his voice really high.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's too hard.
Gremlins are
How
like...
does he do that?
The puppets are like famous also for being really difficult to work with. That's why the movie is shot. They're shot really specifically a lot of times. Like Gizmo,
yeah.
There's a
Gizmo's
lot of
only shot in
scenes-
extreme close up.
So many scenes where, like, so the most specific example I have of this is when, hey, Dad, we got a problem. They go down and they're on the staircase railing and they're looking down at like the Christmas tree and the Gremlins have the Mogwai have multiplied.
Yeah,
And they're like looking at the scene of all of these creatures, and it just keeps cutting to like the same scenes over and over again, but the puppet's moving like a little bit different
Yeah.
each time. There's like there's like one of them on the train, and then one of them is like blowing bubbles, and it just keeps cutting back and forth between them. So it's like the set designers or the puppet designers were like clearly struggling with wide shots.
they said it was they absolutely only wanted to do this practically, and that they were constantly breaking, and they constantly weren't like just working properly and shit. And
Well, I think part of it too is to get the puppets to do some of the shit they did. They had to be doing stuff like just off of frame
Yeah.
to get it working. But like the good parts of the puppets and the special effects, I think, are like amazing.
No, yeah, I think
When
it's ahead of its time.
the little
yeah.
like baby pods are like popping off his back and shit, and like the whole like death scene at the end is really nasty.
Yeah.
And
When they're hatching out of the eggs,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was gross, but good.
yeah. Gremlins can just create green light from hatching.
So our main character Billy, right, is his name.
Yeah.
He gets the box from his dad, which is like he's getting a Christmas gift from his dad. He shakes it, and the dad says, "No, don't shake it." He says, "It's a puppy, isn't it?" Hang on, you just shook the box, and your first thought was, "It's a puppy." Like he knew it was, and he shook it first, and it rattled.
Well, no, I think he's saying it's a puppy based off of his father's thing.
But
of saying,
it's so
He also
dark. This
already
movie's
has a
super-
dog. He's like ready to replace what's his
Oh,
dog's
yeah.
name? Like
which his dog is kind of, you know.
His dog's dope.
Why is the
Yeah.
dog in this movie though?
He's carrying the team on his back.
He disappears. He just like goes away. He goes to a
Does just go
farm.
away.
The main character works at a bank, which in this he's like a 20-something-year-old guy working at a bank. He probably made a semester's worth of tuition just in the span of this movie alone.
Wait, is he?
There
He's
was-
an investment banker? Is that what you're saying?
No,
I'm
he's just
saying
like
the
a
tuition
teller.
was cheap for
Yeah.
boomers.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the 84s. In the 84s. All of the 84s.
Yeah, all of the 1984s.
There was one scene where he gets distracted while counting money. He's like, 20, 40, 60, 80. He looks up, and then it cuts back to him, like, less distracted. He's like, 200, there you go. He's not a good teller.
banker.
Not a good banker.
God.
I got
Really
it.
zany.
Wouldn't want to play Monopoly with this guy.
So, I like this movie, but
Do you?
I do like this movie, but
But
this
what?
movie has a big main character problem, where the main character is not a good character,
oh, he's just like a guy.
and he's
Yeah.
also not a good actor.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I said
He's fine.
there's a line he says at one point where he says, "Mom, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
And it's the worst line reading I've ever seen in like a major motion picture. It's the worst
Yeah.
line reading I've ever seen. It's so I was like, ah.
I don't think for a movie like this that luckily
It doesn't matter.
Luckily, it doesn't matter that much.
It's not a character movie. It's a world movie. Like it's
Yeah.
definitely much
Yeah.
more like it's about this town.
And,
That's
like,
why
the
there's like
set pieces.
and
Yeah.
yes, and it's about zaniness, and they wanted to do the consumerism thing, and that's all
Right.
they were focused on. And he's just like a guy going through it.
Oh yeah, that's what he's sort of like a surrogate for the
Yeah.
audience. He's just supposed
also-
to be like some schmuck.
A normal person.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, don't like this character because he's trying to get his car to start. He can't do it. And he's like, all right, I gotta head out if I'm gonna make it in time. And he just like runs 2 blocks to work past the Burger King. And I'm like, what the
Well, it's
fuck?
winter, LA.
Yeah,
it's
I don't care.
cold out.
Walk. It's not. The sidewalks are plowed.
They don't know about global warming yet.
Oh my god. Take a hike.
I also just wrote poor Gizmo because Gizmo just gets his ass kicked in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
It's just a series of him getting
Yeah, it's
beat
bad
up.
stuff happening to Gizmo, but
Yeah.
Gizmo
Yeah,
is
they
the
throw
one.
darts at him.
Yeah, they throw
Yeah.
darts at
They
him.
miss. They keep missing. Throw him down the
He
laundry
gives
chute.
birth, and it looks very painful.
They're coming out of his butt.
Yeah,
It's gross.
yeah. Gremlins are just butt polyps of other gremlins.
Did you guys watch the movie with subtitles on?
Yeah.
Because every time Gizmo would like said something, there'd be subtitles for it.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was nice, yeah.
Gizmo can fucking like talk.
Yeah,
just
he says
straight up
words.
talk.
Yeah.
He learns to speak. Incredible.
I had a big compliment for this movie, which is I like when movies have the movie surprises the characters. Like this movie starts and he's just like, oh, my local bar is closing and my dad makes obviously bad inventions and oh, life is so hard. And then like this crazy shit happens and he has to deal with it. Like I like when like the problem does like naturally just come out of nowhere and the characters are also just like, oh, suddenly I have a big problem. Like,
So who
it's good.
owned the bar? Was it the plow driver that owned the bar? I was so confused by
I don't
that.
think the person
I don't think
who
we meet
owned the
them.
bar. Yeah, I don't think
Because
we
she
meet
was
them.
just like, I'm volunteering so they don't have to close down. But like we never meet
It's
them.
to show that she's nice.
Okay, yeah, but
no,
you
for
can
real.
just
yeah, I know, I
She's-
agree.
Okay, there's.
not a very
I think
good
you're missing
way.
the point. There's 2 main characters: nice girl and nice boy.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We want
thank
them
you.
to be happy,
Happy.
and for good things to happen to them. Here's the problem: bad things are happening, and they're not happy.
The main character is also he's like 25 years old, right? But everyone talks to him like he's 10 years old. Like the cops are so dismissive of this adult man. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, kid, you don't know what you're talking
I think
about."
maybe he's supposed to be like 18 or 19.
He is supposed to be like I think like freshly out of high school is the sense I got because he
Yeah.
knows his science teacher still but yeah, he's just looks way too old. He looks way
Man,
too
yeah,
old
if
for
he's
this
that
part.
tight with his science teacher at 25, yeesh.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying about this guy. They do
The science teacher just dies. He just dies.
But he's like the only one who does like legit
die.
brutally die.
He
Yeah,
just
for
really
characters we
dies.
know. Yeah,
They really killed him.
yeah.
And it was like the classic trope of like killing off the honestly like the only
The
black
only
guy
black
in
guy
the
in
movie,
the
I
movie.
think.
Yes,
Like
yes.
not a great look.
No, but they were doing a parody.
But they were like, well, he was a science teacher, so
They did make him a science teacher,
so he deserved to die.
It's about we net even, I guess.
So before, like Marty said, it doesn't really feel like a spoof halfway through. So I wrote down my favorite spoofs until it started to feel like a spoof. They
Okay.
when they just dunk on McDonald's, dude, by having a big Burger King ad like right away.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a good spoof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They crush on scientists by showing the science teacher doing unpaid volunteer gremlin studies, Mogwai studies, at 2 a.m. and he's eating like a shitty sandwich.
Ham sandwich.
Oh my god, dude.
What a
yeah,
spoof.
fuck
But
science.
then the gremlin eats the ham sandwich. Spoiler alert.
And then
They're
they
hungry.
goof real hard on the Mogwai by having them turn into gremlins just from eating stuff after
Yeah, a
midnight.
gremlin is a parody of a Mogwai, in case you didn't know.
By the rules of this podcast, yes, that counts.
One more.
Kelly's got
All
one more.
They spoof household moms by parodying moms by having her kill 3 gremlins right away in like the most gruesome fashion ever.
Yeah.
By the way, that's my favorite scene of this whole movie. The
yeah.
mom shows up and she just takes care of. She is not established as a character.
Everyone.
The only way they establish her character is that they establish that she constantly has to deal with the dad's horrible inventions, and so this makes her like kind of savvy, which is like nice. It was like a weird choice for a character, but it worked.
The thing, if you know Gremlins, you know that when the fucking "Do You Hear What I Hear" starts playing, that's when the movie goes from Act 1 of setting everything up to Act 2 of knocking everything down.
Yeah.
And that's when the movie starts getting fun.
I actually like the first half more than the second half.
That's weird. Well, you like rules.
I like the world. No, I don't like the rules of the Gremlins, but I like the world stuff.
Okay,
and I like
so
meeting
we
all the
should say-
characters.
obviously, in case you are listening to this podcast and for some reason haven't seen Gremlins
Or heard of it.
weird.
Because
I got an idea.
I haven't.
I got an idea. I got an
By the
idea.
way, I haven't seen this movie before. This is my first time watching.
Okay,
Gremlins.
we're gonna start with Marty, and we're all gonna name the rules for Gremlins until we
Yeah.
can't anymore. So Marty, you go first.
And
Okay.
if you can't name a rule, you have to leave the podcast.
Yeah, you have to leave. So
right.
Marty, you go first.
Well, I'd like to pass. Kelly, how about you go first?
No, that's all right.
I guess
you have to leave.
No, wait.
Well, Kelly, I guess we should keep going.
No. Okay, first off, don't get them wet.
Okay, don't feed them after midnight.
Oh no, Scott, you can't actually think of it.
I know there's a third. The third one was like redundant.
It's really dumb.
the
They don't
whole-
like bright lights.
Oh yeah, they don't like.
And also, there's
Yeah.
You have
tons
to
of
leave
like.
this
it's more of a
podcast.
condition than a rule, isn't it? Right?
Oh my
It's more of a
god!
condition.
Wow, you somehow
Sorry.
fucked up this easy bit
Sorry.
to kick me out.
Not to. I would take that up if I was buying the Gremlin. I would say, isn't that more of a condition?
Oh, by the way, what's after midnight?
That was
That
what
was
I
the
was
other-
saying.
I know.
It's kind of like with like wearing white after Labor Day. Until when?
Yeah, midnight wear.
But we can't because the rules of that's that. But that is the thing. No, we can't because it's like the rules of Gremlins has been made fun of so fucking much. They're so
what
bad.
happens on fucking daylight savings?
Yeah.
Is it 11?
Yeah.
That
know.
should
It's
have been
11 to 1 a.m.
But when does midnight stop? Is the thing. It's like
I haven't
after
seen the
midnight.
second
When does
Gremlins,
after
but
midnight?
I hope that's
They-
the plot. That's the catalyst of the.
They make
whole-
fun of. They do make fun of that.
Is the
stuff.
second Gremlins also a Christmas movie?
No, it is not. But it
4th of
is.
July.
We are going to do that on the podcast because that one is specifically a spoof movie
Hell yeah.
Of itself.
of Gremlins 1. I was going to say my favorite spoof of the movie is that the Gremlins recreate the dogs playing poker painting at one
yeah.
point, which is just really funny. I was like, these Gremlins, they know way too much about pop culture.
Well, we don't know. How much they know and how much they don't know.
I'd like to say they know a lot.
Yeah. Clearly,
Yeah.
I mean the evidence is there.
Yeah.
It's really just a question of how they.
It
find
seems
out.
like they know too much because they immediately start singing or humming along to "Hi Ho" when they're watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. At the end of the
they've
movie.
seen it before.
How do
Yeah, I was
they
gonna
get
say
away
they-
with that, dude? How do they get away with
know.
that?
Yeah, that's a good
Is
question.
that fair use?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well,
It's
let's back
not.
up a little bit here. So, okay, we learn the rules of the Gremlin. Billy gets a Gremlin. We meet nice girl played by Phoebe Cates. Frankie Cosmos. This is his mom.
Oh,
If you know
really?
that band. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, isn't that weird?
that's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Now that's a fun fact.
Love it.
So then we meet Mrs. Deagle, the
Oh my
witch of
God.
this movie.
The witch.
Girl boss, am I
Yep.
right? Yeah, she's the evil landlord. She's like the Mrs. Potter.
She is kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She hates the pores.
Yes.
And so this movie is very black and white in its treatment of its characters, where it's like, well, I can't wait to see the Gremlins
Yeah,
fuck her ass up.
it isn't
Yeah.
very morally complicated. It's like
Yeah.
very much there are good people and bad
They
people
fuck her
in the
up
world.
good, too.
Yeah.
Which it's a very like Spielberg-y movie where it's like there's just clearly the good guys and the bad guys are like, yeah, I want to
I
get
love
children.
it
But did
when
they fuck
people
up-
are sad.
Yeah.
Did they fuck up the 23-year-old banker who's like, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30?
I don't know if he ever comes back. I
Honestly,
don't know why that guy was in the movie.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of weird writing choices in this.
There's a big one I have a qualm with at the end of the movie, but we'll
But
get to
Scott,
it.
continue.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well, okay, so
Take a sip of your Pilsner.
It's a lie.
we learn the rules. Don't feed them after midnight. We see there's kind of some filler like towards the beginning before the Gremlins start going crazy, where he shows them the science teacher, and it's setting it up for the Gremlins are going to turn into the real Grimmies and
Yeah.
start going buck wild. We see more inventions. There's a coffee machine being powered by an artichoke.
There's so much foreshadowing in this.
The dad is away on it. Apparently, they have a crazy invention convention that I don't know who is planning this thing, but it's on Christmas Eve for some reason.
yeah.
Maker Fair.
Yeah, seems.
I do, and I also don't. Why does the dad like? If you're making this movie, why did the dad have to be gone for this? To I just that just.
I think they're
Well, if
playing
the dad
on.
was there, he would. Say
I know
everything.
that's like
They're
that dad
playing
kicks
on.
ass. I mean,
They're
just
playing
look
on
at
like
him.
the trope of like, honey, can't you be home for Christmas? And he's like, no, I gotta work, even though he's an entrepreneur.
yeah.
And it's like, what does
kinda
this guy
funny.
have to be doing?
You know what,
Yeah.
Kelly? You might have just convinced me that that's actually good.
It's like it's got they couldn't have like it's not a sincere. They're doing it as like a goof.
I get that. Okay.
Another thing they set up is like weirdly xenophobic guy who like he loses his job or whatever, but he tells Billy that watch out for the Gremlins, Billy. They come into your car and they break everything.
I like that. The foreshadowing.
Yeah, she believes in the folklore.
You didn't turn to your partner while you're watching that scene and say, "That's the name of the movie."
That's the name of the movie.
You watched this with your wife?
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, cool.
Very cool.
Kelly got married months ago. At this point.
So they set that up, and then we finally get to the Gremlins become monsters and they start running amok in the town.
Yeah.
And we're introduced to the second antagonist of the movie, Stripe.
Yes.
Who is the
Wait, you're calling the old lady is in your opinion first antagonist number one.
not-
Old lady.
Just
here's what
by
I've written
order of
down.
appearance.
Here's what I've written down. If you are a fan of Game of Thrones, you'll understand this metaphor. Mrs. Deagle is the Cersei Lannister, whereas Stripe is the Night King. Mrs. Deagle, well, Stripe represents the evil without.
Now,
the
who's
evil,
Jamie?
Like a force of nature way out there. Mrs. Deagle's husband / brother.
Whoa.
Hot.
And then Mrs. Deagle represents the evil within humankind. Yes. So anyway, gremlins have the power to make green light when they are hatching.
Yeah.
That's just something.
They hate bright lights, but they fuck with electricity real hard and don't mind that.
Yeah, it's tough because the rules are such a big part of the movies, like inciting incident and all this shit, that it's difficult when you have rules that also you can't possibly justify it when there's like all this other shit going on. So it's like, just don't have. I mean, I know the rules are like a big part of the movie, but come up with a better way of doing this. Yeah, but come up with a better way of doing it, in my opinion.
I mean, the bright light one.
That one, it just
We
seems
always
like
forget about it until it's like the Deus Ex Machina.
until it's like literally the end of the movie, and they're like, "How do we kill all of them?" Well, it's
Yeah.
right that they don't like lights the whole time,
Yeah.
but only certain kinds.
Well, no, they kept sprinkling that in.
I know,
when
but
she
that's
used the
it's
Polaroid.
like they went back
Could you
through the
use an
script.
ultraviolet light to fuck up a gremlin?
Right.
We'll save that for
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins are in the phone.
So my big problem with this movie, from a writing standpoint, I guess, coming from it as a writer,
I just thought of
Why
okay,
don't you
wait.
just grew a goatee
Gremlins-
on a beret?
In Gremlins 3, the way you kill the gremlins is just by turning your brightness down on your phone all the way.
no.
All right.
Dude,
Continue,
you killed the
Marty.
gremlins by turning off your phone and fucking going outside for once.
Oh my god, dude, the graphics.
But that is like the moral of this. This movie is kind of just like, don't consume so much. You know, it is like, I don't know, especially for like the 80s. It was, I don't know, poignant.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trademarking Gremlins 3. Gremlins
That's
are in
fine.
the
Yeah,
phone.
by all means. My problem was the dad coming back at the end of the movie, and the mysterious man from Chinatown also coming back at the end of the movie. I wrote down, sometimes I really hate movie structure because it's like, that's such a like, we have to tie everything back together at the end. With the circle has to be completed. The journey has to like come back to where it started.
You wanted
Like,
some real like complexity out of this movie.
I just wanted it to not. I just want, if you're gonna do that, like, I just want the dad to be a little more involved in the plot, and I want the old mysterious man to.
I'm sure Billy did too.
Yeah. Got him. Fucking roasted Billy.
The guy from Chinatown coming back in the end, totally fine with that. He's supposed to be like this out of nowhere character. It was the
and
dad
he's
that
also
bothered
just
me.
supposed to say like, y'all can't handle the
Which,
responsibility.
as a bit, it's good. Just the dad coming back at the end really bothered me. By the way, I love the idea of obviously bad inventor. Like, not like he's bad at making good inventions. It's like, no, his ideas are bad too. He's like very bad.
Yeah,
I like
There's no
that.
reason to power that coffee machine with an artichoke.
Or like the coffee. It's like, yeah, like the orange juice machine thing. It's like, but the orange juice machines are already simpler
We got
than this.
him.
Yeah,
We did
we don't
fine.
need this. Yeah, no, it's great.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So the Gremlins start fucking up the townspeople one by one, and one of the first guys to go is the xenophobic man. And just one of my favorite parts was when he's getting killed. Well, the Gremlins like kill him with his own
snowplow, right?
Snowplow thing, and while they're driving, he has time to say, "There's a real gremlin in my cab. There's a real gremlin in my cab," which like that just seems like if you have time to say that, then run, yeah. And then we see Mrs. Deagle get wrecked, and she goes on the spinning staircase ride of. She gets thrown out the window.
Yeah.
That one's great.
Because
she does not. She doesn't get like enough momentum.
No.
Get launched that far out of the window.
It just cuts to her and she's flying through the air.
It was so funny. I was like, yeah she's dead.
I was all for all the like Looney Tunes kind of wacky kills and stuff in this movie.
There's like some dark moments too, where like this guy was like he had 3 of them on him, and the cops were just in their car, and they roll up the window while he's like, "Help!"
Oh, the cops fucking run. Yeah,
help me!
They just leave.
Yeah, and they just dip.
One of the cops. Mike from Breaking Bad, Jonathan Banks.
Wow.
A young Mike from Breaking Bad.
He's evolved.
Baking Bad.
Was he the good cop or the bad cop?
I'm food that.
He was the like assistant cop, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
He was the one.
Do you guys see the bloopers for this movie?
Oh hell no!
Oh my
Lay
god!
it on me, though.
So many good bloopies.
Okay, what was your favorite?
Describe them.
Here, I got 3.
Read them out.
I got 3.
Okay, read us the minutes.
One of the bloopies is when good guy says, "Don't breathe any of the gas," and then there's a fart noise.
Oh, that's very funny.
And then another one is they're doing the gremlin scene at the bar, and a hand pops out of one of the puppets.
Just imagining that. That's so funny.
Oh my god! And
Kelly,
then the third
these
one
don't seem good.
was someone. They needed to use an EpiPen on him because he had a latex allergy. Why are you on the set of Gremlins?
That's a good blooper.
That one actually is a good blooper. Why are you on the set of Gremlins if you have a latex allergy?
Maybe
what are you
he
thinking?
learned that very day. So the Gremlins party hard.
They do. They love consuming.
Yeah.
They loved it.
They're drinking beer. They're getting nasty.
Yep.
They're doing cultural references. They're horny as hell.
They just want to repopulate their
Phoebe
Earth.
Cates is trying to very not convincingly.
No, stop it!
I'll do a little something over here, and then I'll pretend like I'm doing something over here.
Please don't kill me.
more.
She knows that they're there to kill her, but she's like
she can
still
just appease
serving them.
the Gremlins.
They just keep coming back to the same shot of her. It's like a medium shot of over the shoulder of 2 of the Gremlins, and she's just her hair
I
is
have to
just
look frantic, but there's nothing to interact
not
with.
good. Yeah, no, it's not.
Basically,
good.
she's like pouring beer, and then she has to like be shocked by something. That,
Yeah.
no,
Be
don't screech at
surprised.
me.
Don't screech. Don't laugh maniacally. Oh!
Oh, why are you on the ceiling fan? Because
And that
it's
Gremlin was
tied
on
there.
it. This is like a fucking 7-minute sequence, and that Gremlin is up there on the ceiling
Yeah.
fan for apparently the entire
He
time.
loves it. He's having so much fun.
How many puppet wires did you? How many puppet wires did you guys see? Like
39.
so many.
Oh,
They
I
didn't
wasn't-
try to edit those out at all.
I didn't notice
That's
any.
part of the fun.
Well, no, it wasn't
You were
bad.
watching
They
in
just
4K,
Yeah.
you psycho.
Yeah.
no, it was
Kelly.
the real D40.
Oh, here's another
IMAX.
little bylaw of the Gremlins I wrote down is where did the Gremlins find these little clothes?
Great question.
They
they grew them
They grew them in the poop.
In the pupe.
in the pupils.
dude.
In the pupils.
In the cocoon.
Oh. What, so they came out with the clothes on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did?
No, I don't know. They went shopping. What
know,
are you?
man.
What
No,
are you?
what are you,
at?
crazy?
I mean, are you
I
crazy?
think they did come out with
Did
it.
they go to an American Girl store?
No, they
or
went-
did they sew them? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
They went
They
to American
sewed
Apparel,
them.
and American Apparel, they're so
Yeah, the
open-minded.
sizes run small.
Yeah.
So true. There's a masked. What scares Phoebe Cates out of the bar is there's a masked robber gremlin with just a little snub-nosed pistol. So they also have a gremlin size because their hands aren't normal sized, right?
No.
So he's a tiny little pistol, and then he shoots it and she runs away. Oh shit! And then my last note is about the credits, so I guess we're freeballing.
Oh, was it about the how
That's
they just
okay.
sort of appeared? Because when I watched it, like, they didn't scroll up from the bottom. It just was, like, right away, like, mid-screen. And
That was,
I don't remember.
but that was like an '80s movie thing to
Was
do.
it?
Is
It
to
was
do like
very
suddenly,
jarring, yeah.
Like that's I think like Home
That's the
Alone
last
does.
scare of the movie.
What? Directed by Joe Dante. Oh God.
Well, it was like, it appeared in the middle and was already scrolling up.
Yeah, that was that was definitely a thing from that era to like do the sudden appearance and then the scroll starts rather than like cutting to black and then it's much more classy to cut to black.
Yeah, that kind of sounds right. Especially if like a fucking John Cougar Mellencamp song like cuts in right there.
You're my American girl.
Yeah.
That's Petty.
That's John Cougar Mellencamp.
John
song.
Cougar Petty Man.
Oh.
Tom Cougar. Okay.
I'm ready to rate the movie if you are.
Okay, wait, before we
Wait,
get
wait,
to...
well, let me
alright,
just say
alright,
that
alright.
the dog in the movie was played. Would you like to know the real dog's name?
Can we guess it?
That's what I'm asking for.
Barney.
Wrong!
Damn. Barkley.
No, I wish it was. His name was Mushroom.
Oh, that's a good name for a dog.
Okay, so before we rate the movie, let's see what the MPAA rated it. PG.
Well, so at the time, like
Yeah,
everything.
PG-13
Kelly,
didn't
that's your
exist.
responsibility for
Yeah,
future episodes.
yes.
I can
Kelly,
do that. I
Kelly
can
has a
manage
job.
this. Yeah,
Kelly has
okay,
a job.
okay,
Kelly
sure.
officially has a job for the podcast. Kelly,
I got
you're
it.
hired.
I'm done.
Kelly's gonna give us our. What was American Carol rated?
I don't know.
Probably
R.
R. Probably.
PG-13.
Probably PG. It was
It wishes it
light.
was fucking
G.
R. Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, how do we get an R rating but still maintain Christian values?
We can.
know,
we
we
say
don't.
frick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one of the movies that encouraged the PG-13 rating.
Yep. Is this Temple of Doom was like the other big one, right?
Yeah, all Spielberg related
Yeah.
films.
He's a little fucker.
Fucking up
Yeah.
the genre.
He's the little fucker.
I can't tell if this is a kids movie or a movie for adults.
Yeah.
MPAA.
Somewhere in
Circa
between.
1984.
Yeah. If you're in middle school.
Wow, that quote,
baby.
Kelly.
I'm so frustrated.
All
There's
right.
violence, but there's also puppets.
As a movie,
As a movie.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. This is a pretty good movie.
I feel like you've given movies you don't like 7 out of 10s.
No.
Well, again, we're keeping track, so I'll just go back through the records and check.
I would be the one doing that, and I'm not keeping track of that. So,
fuck is that supposed? If you're not doing it, that.
but I would.
What?
My point is, okay. My point
Of
was
the three
If
of
anybody
us.
was doing it, it would be me, and I'm not.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That
what's
makes
wrong with that
sense.
sentence?
I think that's an okay.
yeah.
How can you know that if you're not doing it?
Yeah, my point is that of the three of us, I'd be the most likely to do that.
'Cause he
and I'm
listens
not
to them
doing
and
it.
edits
And I'm
them.
because I listen to them and edit them.
Cut this part out.
I have heard this. I have heard every episode of this show like 3 or 4 times, Scott.
How
know what?
spoofy is this movie?
You know what? I'm wrong.
I wanted to finish my thought. It just needed a different main character. I said, just make Corey Feldman the main character. He's already in the
They
movie.
probably
Agreed.
wrote.
And
Oh,
more
he wasn't.
charismatic.
And way more charismatic. And he was in tons of stuff. Like, he, by the way, this character of, like, he's the young neighbor is, like, what he did in the 80s, basically.
Yeah.
Like, as a spoof, I was sour to start. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's more of a broad spoof than what we usually do. Usually we watch stuff that's really specific, but I think it's successful in what it's trying to make fun of, guys.
It makes fun. Dude, it makes so much fun.
It is. When I watch it, it's.
Oh my God.
It makes fun. I made fun with this movie.
I hate you both.
Let's make fun, baby.
Review the fucking movie, guys.
10 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10.
Nailed it. Scott, you're reading my mind.
Oh,
No, I
that's
like
great.
Gremlins. It was fun.
Good.
And it made fun.
Yeah.
I said, mate, that's...
Let's make fun tonight.
My brain's gonna explode.
Do a little dance, make a little fun. Get down with Gremlins.
Spoofs, goofs tonight. All right. I did song.
Kelly, do you have a novelty
I
song?
just
to play?
said. I just said.
Hang on, Kelly, do you have a novelty song to play us?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm glad we spent so much time talking about Gremlins because I don't think this song has a lot to say.
It's Jingle Bells.
That's okay, because
No.
the novelty product is going to take a long time, by the way.
Okay. It's just Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Oh,
Very good.
a very
Merry
fitting
Christmas.
song for the Christmas holidays.
Merry holidays, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandma got run over by a reindeer. I have notes on it somewhere.
We can play the song first, or do you want to do notes?
Yeah, let's do the song. Let's play it.
Why are you...
No, I'm not gesturing to you. I'm gesturing to me in the future
Oh, okay.
to play the song.
Party? Cue.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer. walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa.
Yeah, go ahead
As
and
for
listen
me
to it
and
or don't.
Grandpa.
I don't really care.
Oh my god.
So much energy.
Yeah,
Kelly.
I just am punk rock today.
So this is a song about a grandmother who gets drunk and gets murdered by Santa Claus, essentially.
She doesn't get murdered. She just gets run over by a reindeer. She makes a full recovery.
Oh, she's fine at the end of it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever listened to that song all the way through.
I think the stupidest. There's a big plot hole in the song.
Wait, why are they gonna send her presents back if she's still alive? I think she's dead.
No, she.
Kelly, let's break into this
here.
lore.
Wikipedia Synopsis, the second half. The second and third verses describe the Christmas gathering where all the families dressed in black to mourn her death and wonders if all the Christmas gifts they bought for her should be returned.
As I was referencing.
And the consensus is a firm yes, as Scott was referencing.
But in Act 3...
Christmas dinner, otherwise, goes on as normal, with the centerpiece of a roast goose, a figgy pudding for dessert, and blue and silver candles to match Grandma's hairpiece.
Glad to know
The
this.
newly widowed Grandpa seems completely unfazed by his wife's demise and spends the holiday watching football, drinking beer, and playing cards with Cousin Mel, who, while not stated as such in the lyrics, is an attractive and much younger woman in the music video and animated film. Oh, there's an animated film. How fun.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you.
Wait, so are they implying Grandpa murdered his wife to get with a younger lady?
With his cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, keep going.
That's it.
I didn't do enough research. She did die.
she's dead. Jesus Christ.
The upshot is a warning to the listeners to beware, because a man who drives a sleigh and plays with elves should never receive a
I've
driver's
never
license.
thought about it as, did Grandpa do it? That's an interesting
Yeah, no,
Wow.
I'm saying he murdered his wife. He framed
He must have
Santa.
fucked Cousin Mel.
And this is a song they play on stations for children?
Oh my god.
Disgusting. This is somehow worse than the Toby Keith song last week.
No, it's not.
I said it was.
Okay, yeah, it is. You're right. That song rules.
Did this song
Toby
peak?
Keith crushes.
I have a question, Kelly. Did this song peak on the charts at all?
It did. First of
wow.
all, what year do you think it peaked? This song was written and recorded.
Really stoned.
That's
really
tough.
filling for. Now we gotta guess
No.
the year too.
It's written. No.
No,
It's
who can-
fun. It's fun.
How about who gets closest?
I'll
to
tell
the
you
year?
when it was written and recorded, and you guess when it peaked.
Okay.
It was written and recorded in 1978. When did it peak?
1978.
I'm gonna guess 1982.
Peaked 20 years later in 1998.
Why? What was was there a reason for that?
People-
Yeah,
Finally.
Christmas happened
Yeah.
again.
Oh, my bad. I forgot they took a 20-year break.
Well, the
if it
Cold
took
War was
20 years
over.
to peak,
We beat Russia.
yeah,
We
I'm
celebrated
finally, like,
Christmas.
we can laugh again.
Yes. It was just before 9/11.
Where
So,
do you think it peaked?
If it peaked like 20 years later, I'm going to say it's probably low, and I'm going to say that it peaked at 75.
I'm gonna go with 69.
9.
Nice.
87.
Damn.
Scott wins.
Why? Just why even list that? Why even just ignore that? If you're like the Billboard people, just be like, why do we list this? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Because they care about accuracy.
Nerds.
I don't know. To give us something to fucking talk about, I guess.
They're like, future spoof podcasts will need time.
Yeah. So, and speaking of, what else you got, Kelly?
That's it. There's, like I said, it's just
Incriminating.
a song that
marks.
unfortunately gets stuck in my head more often than
Yeah.
I'd like it to. It's an obnoxious song.
I agree with that.
Probably my least favorite song that I brought to this podcast thus far.
Two.
I was gonna say between this and the Tiny Tim song.
Whoa, I brought Lime and the Coconut.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I haven't
I
edited that one
crushed
yet.
with that one.
Yeah.
There was so much good trivia. He was the fifth Beatle.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of
Well,
this.
you can't save this entry by bringing up.
Bringing up
What do you mean? It's
another
not
good
bad
one.
to bring a shitty song. I just figured, hey, it's Christmas.
Kelly, no one's saying it's a shitty song.
No, it's a shitty song.
Scott is.
I'm just saying, I'm a shitty song.
You're
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
the Ballad of Scott.
Yeah, if you think about it.
I mean, everyone knows it. Everyone's heard this song. It's just fucking. It's just not a good. I think it's a bad song.
I think it's okay. I like that the verse is in a minor key and the chorus is in a major key.
Ooh, music
I don't.
knowledge.
It
So when
feels
he
like they didn't
describes
even
the
intend
death,
it.
it gets it goes into more detail. Then it goes into a minor key, and then there's a little like Jingle Bells homage on the piano, during the chorus. It's also interesting that, like, he says, you can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. So implying that he believes in Santa Claus.
It implies
listening to
that
the singer's voice, he sounds like he's, like, at least in his late 30s,
Yeah.
right?
I think there is subtext.
I
which
think the
is
grandpa
nice.
killed him.
Yeah, I think that's the subtext,
Yeah.
is that the
Yeah.
grandpa killed him, and
And
as
the grandpa's
for me,
convincing the other guy.
I am.
Oh, it was Santa.
It was Santa.
Well, that, and it's like that he's the alibi, because it's like, you already lost your grandma, kid. You don't want to lose your grandpa to jail. do
Believe
you?
me.
Yeah.
You get it. You guys
Holy
get it.
shit.
And there's a lot to unpack there. And while we unpack it, Marty.
Why don't you unpack that novelty product,
Yeah.
Daddy-O?
I will. I will need a second, though. I have to go upstairs.
Oh,
Stay down.
finally. He knows that the best bits of the podcast are when it's me and Scott alone riffing.
I delete all that stuff usually.
Yeah, but it's always the best. It's for our Patreon. Wow, wow, whoa.
Jeopardy, baby.
We're gonna
Yeah.
leave. What about Pat Sajak?
Oh, God.
No. Oh no.
Wow.
Oh, it's me, your favorite spoof master,
Marty.
Santa Claus.
Marty, it's Marty.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard you both have been good little boys this year.
Marty, you just came down in your normal clothes. Why are you talking like that?
Yeah, what's going on?
Ho, ho, ho! No, I'm wearing my normal Santa suit, of course.
Yeah.
I even have a full beard. It
Marty,
tastes
yeah,
delicious.
Yeah, you keep adjusting
Marty.
it every half second.
I'm probably peeking right now.
It's very important that the beard stays on right for the podcast.
So we should have continued with that last bit. I was about to say, Marty, if you didn't bring a novelty product, you could have just told us.
Who's Marty?
That would have been so good.
If I just left.
Well, Marty's our friend. He's upstairs going to get something.
Yeah.
Oh, he sounds like a swell guy.
Nah, he's kind of a piece of shit. He doesn't know anything about
Oh,
films.
is that Martin Kajabowski of Spoofs, Goofs, and Novelty Songs?
Yeah, the creator.
The creator of that podcast?
And the co-creator of the New York 4.
Oh, I love a Seinfeld podcast?
Yes.
Oh, he wrote to me actually. He wrote me a long time ago to bring you both a special present.
Oh, well, he's just upstairs. You could go get him. You
he
can
have
tell him
more?
yourself.
No, no, no.
He's right up there.
I'll go look for him later, but I brought you a special gift.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a
Do I
special.
talk about it now, or do we talk about it?
Is this for next episode when Marty comes back?
Marty, I don't think you're supposed to show us the
It's-
hose.
It's for this
show us
week's
the
episode.
lapel.
It's a flower, squirt flower.
Flower, squirt flower.
It's no fun if you reveal what it is.
Yeah, oh, so it squirts you.
I don't know how far it goes.
It's one of those flower lapels. Now, I have to
Santa,
say,
you keep tugging at your beard for some reason.
it's quite itchy.
I feel like I've seen those glasses before somewhere.
Oh, they're very popular. You can buy them at lenscrafters.com, of course.
Oh, okay. Santa shops at Lunch Crafters.
Oh, ho, ho.
Lunch Crafters.
So that is a squirt flower that we make
What are
in
you talking about, Marty? It looks like a normal flower. Here, I'm going to sniff it.
Oh, Santa, what the fuck? What's wrong with you?
It's
You're
made.
filling it up.
It's made in Santa's workshop, and it's quite cheap. So it's very difficult to use. It mostly leaks. I was also quite disappointed.
It doesn't squirt at all.
So it
You have to,
just,
like,
it just
step
drips.
on this.
It's a drip flower.
I was quite disappointed with
barely
it.
squirts.
Yeah, it squirts like a
I'm
half an inch.
upset. I'm not upset with you. This is
No, I know that.
What a good gift.
I mean, I know that.
Santa, Kelly's got that flower. I wonder, have I been good this year?
No, that was the only. I just bought one present for you both.
Oh, okay. So I have been good.
Originally, the novelty product was just going to be the suit that I'm wearing. I decided that wouldn't be enough.
Marty brings it back up.
How
now
much am I
that-
peeking?
You're peeking down the chimney.
Oh, yes. I ran over that one old woman one year, and then later on, I would watch couples have sex, of course.
Okay, so let's describe this pajama-esque
Yeah.
costume.
So Santa, your suit seems to be made of felt.
Santa, your suit looks like.
It looks itchy.
Yeah, it looks itchy.
And you're constantly tugging at your... And you keep having a mustache and then sort of an Amish beard and then a mustache again.
And also, you have brown hair under your white hair.
No, whoa, what are you talking about?
And it looks
No.
like you're wearing a hairnet.
Now, I visited a good little boy named Otto, and this freaked him out. I had to console him for 2 hours after
Oh my
that.
God.
Pets?
Hey, Marty, smell the end of this rope.
No.
It smells like water.
It's me, you guys. I took off the beard and the hat.
You just missed Santa.
Whoa.
He was just here.
Oh, wow.
Just here, Marty.
You should react like my dog did.
Ah, I'm afraid.
Shaking. He was shaking so bad. Yeah, so Santa suit and squirt flower were my novelty products for the week.
You're dressed up like a nightmare before Christmas right now. Because he's wearing a pumpkin shirt.
It's like-
Yeah, we are wearing jack-o'-lantern.
It's also like way too big for me. Is the other thing.
It looks very baggy
It is, yeah.
and big.
I just wanted to make sure it would fit, so I got the XL version. I actually
What do
think
you
I ripped this
typically
already.
wear? What does Santa wear under the... I guess the jacket doesn't usually look like a boxing jacket. Doesn't usually
It's not-
look like a boxing robe.
My parents also have a Santa suit that I've worn for my nieces and
And like
nephews
usually
before.
buttons up.
It's
right?
usually
The
a button-up
fur
thing,
buttons
yeah.
up.
Yeah, I have done this before.
Oh my god.
I
I'm a
can tell.
professional.
Yeah.
I
I,
can
love
tell.
it when Santa behind the eyes looks 27.
Oh yeah, all my nephews knew it was me.
Yeah.
They were all like, Marty.
He's got a 27-year-old twinkle in his eye.
Yeah. And he keeps referencing the Avengers.
Thanos.
He loves Thanos jokes. This Santa Claus. He keeps talking about 500 Days of Summer.
Wow. Wow. I don't even talk about that movie
Specific
at all.
jokes.
Yeah,
Santa,
wow.
I love
Cut
this.
this out.
Nope, keeping it all.
Santa, I love this gift. How much did it cost? Everything.
Shows dead reindeer outside.
They just ran over an old lady. He had to kill them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So that's our special Christmas episode for everyone.
Are we finishing? Oh, I guess it's time to end.
It's time to end, yeah. I know the Santa suit brought out the Christmas spirit in all of us, but
I
Well,
feel like we barely got to talk about it.
or the squirt
yeah,
flower.
let's go into more details.
No,
Let's
it's fine.
describe the colors.
I'm
The
done.
last person to name a color loses.
All right,
Marty,
I'll
why don't
start.
you start?
No.
Good.
Which way are we going? Clockwise?
It doesn't matter. Marty, you start.
Red.
You- White.
Okay, black.
Oh shit.
Yellow?
Gold.
Oh, damn it.
I forgot the last color.
There was gold on the buckle, I think.
Well,
That's gonna do it.
Yeah.
For all of us.
all have a good holiday season.
Oh man, they will after receiving this gift of an episode.
be safe traveling around. Eat some ham.
And if I was peeking that entire time, I'm so sorry.
But in another way,
What? You can't start things.
I mean, yeah. Well, just like, fucking deal with it.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Next week we might take a week off to catch up on episodes. Next week is New Year's, idiots.
It's
We're gonna
a-
do some sort of dumb New Year's movie that we'll talk about after
Look
this.
at all the New Year's spoofs they got.
They got so many.
AKA Borat.
Oh, Borat.
Is what we're doing next.
We are doing Borat next.
We
My
are.
favorite New Year's goof.
You know, it's a new year, and for that, I decided we should do a new country for spoofing
Yeah.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
My year.
Was that a my wife joke?
My year.
My year.
I just have one thing to say.
What do you have to say, Scott?
Thanks for listening. God, we